Hey guys, it is Dungeon Master Mark, and lately I've had a lot of videos. People ask me how do I do Fogs of War when I start off a adventure module, or whatever you want to call it. And I figured I would kind of kill two birds with one stone. This is actually the scenario we ran a couple weeks ago for my home group, and I was getting ready to put everything up, so I figured I would go ahead and kind of put it back together real quick and do a breakdown and show you guys the quest that I ran through and how I present it. So the first thing you'll notice is a lot of the lower levels have some black sheets of cloth just to cover them up, kind of like a fog of war. And then this particular setup is 4 different levels. So what basically happened was the party was hired to come in, explore a dungeon that was already explored by a different party that their employer had employed to find an underground catacomb that was supposedly built below a previous dungeon that this evil wizard had used. So, to make a long story short, they go out of town, they go to where this dungeon was, they find a map where the rogues and the thieves in that party had investigated the whole room. They found, the rogues in that found this treasure room, and the divination spell they had said there was something else in the room. They couldn't find it. To make a long story short, the original rogue's perception wasn't high enough. And there was a couple different things. The rug, there was actually an illusion on the rug where it was hiding a actual steps going to further area down. So, bear with me 1 second. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and move this level, and we'll go ahead and go to the next level. There we go. So we've removed the first level. After they get on the steps, they find this really, really long, dangerous stone steps that go down. They're very slick. Obviously, they have not been tread upon in probably hundreds of years, so very, very dangerous. You have to make a acrobatics check or a dexterity check to make sure they don't fall and take damage on the way down. They come down here. They see a torch sconce on the other wall that's flickering. A really, really strange, kind of like a yellowish color. So it's not actual flame, so it's like a ghost flame effect. And they had to disarm a trap on this portcullis. And when they entered the room, they saw this, what looked like has some type of chamber below, which they saw a faint light coming from down below. And there's metal bars and grates across it, which had magical runes inscribed on it. And they had to do some linguistic checks and some spellcraft checks to find out there were some type of warding effects. Now, the weird thing is, the area at this particular level looked like had one time been dedicated to a lawful good deity. So they weren't exactly sure why, and they weren't sure why a good deity would put runes on a floor to keep someone from going down. But we'll get to that in a second. So let me go ahead and move this level. There we go. Sorry guys, the lighting in the room's a little bad today. It's getting ready to storm here. So the party's now made their way down to the 3rd level down, and they find a lot of interesting things. It looks like there was some type of really, really, really ancient temple in this area that was dedicated to a lawful good deity, like we had said before. This room, all the different areas of the wall, like each 10-foot segment, there's different murals showing a fight where the forces of good were fighting the forces of evil. And it keeps mentioning that below there was some type of tomb where a great evil general was buried, and then basically for a long time there was a temple of Eridan above that, and they used this as kind of like a bastion, like a citadel, to basically protect the catacombs below. So there may have been evil artifacts that were stored down below. And they find out there looks like some more dungeons and catacomb area over towards this direction, but it had collapsed, so they weren't able to explore that. But they did see where part of the floor had managed to kind of break away, and they saw a couple flickering lights coming from down below. And oddly enough, this room seemed like there was almost no dust on the floor, unlike the areas that were up above. So they were very interested in that. And they had a couple different linguistics and intelligence and knowledge religion checks. So bear with me 1 second. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and move this level as well, so we can go ahead and look at the next level down. There we go, gentlemen. So for the purpose of this video, I went ahead and moved all of the Fog of War, so you guys can see everything in all one layout. But the party basically made their way down to this small landing. There's a large opening in the floor. They rappelled down on the ropes. and they see these large magical braziers in the corner. And then on both sides of the wall, they see these large, what look like doors that are metallic, and then for handles and locking mechanism, looks like they're all made out of bone. And of course, they notice the floor and the walls are all lined with skeletons and different types of bones. And you guys will have to pardon me. I need to stop the video real quick and let my English bulldog in before he freaks out. Sorry about that, guys. So for those of you who don't know, I own an English bulldog who evidently gets afraid of any thunder or lightning outside and freaks out. So unfortunately, I had to stop the video for a second to let the dog in before he started freaking out and decided to do something crazy. So anyway, as I was saying, the doors, like I said, the mechanisms, traps, and everything look like they're made from bone. Very, very ancient stonework. Walls, floors, everything's covered in skeletons, bones. Sometimes when they walk, they're even hearing the sounds of bones breaking, like little finger bones and stuff on the floor. And then they keep finding these unusual glowing braziers. In this particular chamber, there was this weird kind of pool of water, and then there was a channel that ran around the pool where there's a large, I shouldn't say large, a small stone sphere that was slowly circling the pool, like some type of magical effect, which they decided to go ahead and take the stone sphere. And then they encountered some incorporeal undead in this room, some advanced zombies / sin spawn. They made their way down this way. They set off a trap, which the rogue was unable to discover on their own. And then they encountered some type of intelligent undead that was a spellcaster. And then towards this last room, they actually encountered some incorporeal ghost-like creatures. And then they also found some more clues as to who was buried in this particular chamber. And they found some different miscellaneous treasure, which is going to come in handy in the future. So that is about it for this particular level. Let me stand up, I'll get a couple different pictures of different areas there for you guys. And I'll take a couple pictures for Facebook. But that is how this particular level, for the most part, played out. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. And hopefully that answers your guys' questions a little bit more on how I do some of the like fog of war effects and how I hide some stuff from the players. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.